And then what else do we have going? I mean, was there anything
what's been going on in X-Men? Any new stuff?
Well,
I've been out.
We can all talk about X-Men, right?
X-Men.
Yeah, I'm a little behind, but you can tell me. It's fine.
Alrighty, so we still have all new X-Men. Obviously, Kitty and the original team are now over with Terrorist Scott and Magneto and that new Xavier school.
Yep.
And obviously, it's kind of hard, like, because Marvel can't. You need to have Wolverine in every title. And I love the fact that Bendis was like, no, you don't. And they got X-23 in the title now. And I like that X-23.
That's a compromise, I
think it's a good compromise.
Yeah. I'll take it.
X-23, and because she's young,
yeah,
she's really now part of the original X-Men and part of that clique. And so that's a lot of fun to be checking out.
Is there any more development between a relationship with her and Scott?
No.
Isn't that hilariously creepy on some level?
I love it.
Wolf, you're making out.
They're doing it. They would. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Of course
you can't
they
hate somebody that much without it.
You can't. You
gotta
are what
have
you
chemistry
hate.
to hate.
You are it's true.
Right.
You're attracted to it.
This is what I was kind of talking about. I think this is really cool that you can do stuff like this now, where it's Jean Grey and X-23. Let's see, what else do they do here? We're kind of going back to some of the William Stryker era storylines, so bringing that back in. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what's going on with the Purifiers and all that cool stuff.
Those dicks.
I know.
I hate those zealots, man. They always got. Poor
but
X-Men.
they always make for great. They always make for great storylines.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to figure out.
Haters gonna hate.
I just hate them. I hate them. I hate their puritanical, awful, terrible, mutant destroying ways.
Yeah, and how every time it's like, really, guys? That still seems like a good idea to you?
Really?
But then you're like, in comics, you're like, well, that's not realistic. And then you go to the real world and you're like, oh, yeah. Tons of people out there like, yeah, white supremacy makes sense.
Mm-hmm. yeah.
That's a great idea. No one's tried that.
I hate women.
Yeah.
They're 50% of the population, and I hate them.
Mm-hmm. Bringing us down.
Bringing us down. It's like, would you, it's like, it's your own problems, man. We're not your problem. You're your own problems. Just like we're our own problems, you know? Quit blaming us for your fucking shit.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Let's see what else.
This has been a message
how's
from
the
Plopcast.
From the ladies of the Plopcast. All new X Factor. How's
all
that
new
going?
X Factor. Peter David. I always have a soft spot for Peter David because Peter David always gets this X title that's on the peripheral of what everything else that's going on in X-Men land, X-Men world. His original run on X Factor was X-Men meets X-Files.
This is the one that recently wrapped up after 15 volumes?
Something like that. And it really did lose steam. Because anytime, and it's cool because I'll get to this in a second, but anytime you send the X-Men into a battle with the creatures and powers that be of hell, anytime you bring that stuff into an X-Men story, I really kind of lose steam. And that's how his last X title ended. It was a lot of trying to save souls and things
Hell
like that.
dimensions and stuff.
Hell dimensions.
Yeah.
But this is kind of cool because he's got a new idea where we've got Quicksilver, Polaris, and Gambit, and in issue 2 you start to kind of get an idea of who else could be joining the team. But they are a corporation. They're an X team that's being run by a corporation called Serval Industries, and we're still learning a lot about who Serval Industries is. But they're
you know what would be hilarious? If Serval Industries did not turn out to be evil.
Yeah, if they were genuinely good.
If they were just we're really trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But that's what they're kind of that's what they're kind of hinting at.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool. But they do have they have to wear the insignia and they have to wear the certain colors representing the corporation while they go and they do these missions.
Yeah.
And I think that's always really cool. I think it's the complete opposite of Remender's run of X-Force, where they were a Wetworks Black Op team you couldn't know about. Yep. These guys are fully parading in wearing a corporation insignia, going no, we're here to fuck shit up, and this is who sent us.
Yeah,
I like that, and I love when David writes X characters. It's just that he always, you could see it throughout a lot of his original run. They kept stealing characters away from him to put them in other titles, and it was constantly like that. You can't tell a cohesive story because all of a sudden Havoc joins the team. And then 3 issues later, he's explaining why Havoc's leaving the team to go join Uncanny Avengers. You know what I mean? It's just it's a giant bummer.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What's Gambit up to? Is he doing good?
Well, he was still
doing?
heading up the guild of the thieves. He was still stealing stuff.
He's just like the X-Men underachiever, man.
Dude, he's like
can I just make a thing here?
he's a Catwoman with a penis and a French accent.
Go on.
That's what he is.
I never thought about that, but you are
true.
200% right. It's funny.
Does that make like Batman?
It's funny how people
Maybe.
date them. Like people date themselves to me as to when they stopped reading comics. You know, because a lot of times they'll be like, "Dude, Gambit's fucking awesome," and it's like, if you think Gambit's awesome, then you were obviously around in the 90s and you stopped.
When they were using him for everything.
Because he hasn't done anything since.
I like Gambit.
I'm not against it. I'm not against
First Peter Parker, now Gambit, huh? Where's it stop? Wonder Woman.
No, I think Gambit is awesome when he's handled correctly.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was really weird when they made him one of the Horsemen for Apocalypse all those years ago, and then they were like, well, that didn't work. Let's just not use him for a little bit. You know, so.
Yeah.
But then you talk about a title that's doing awesome with bringing in the elements of heaven and hell.
Amazing X-Men.
Jason Aaron and Amazing X-Men's awesome.
Not surprised.
We have discussed our collective obsession with Jason Aaron.
Yes,
because
we have.
he's the best.
So good. I'm so glad that he has a home at the X-Men.
Wait for this.
Miss
Side
Marvel.
That was really good.
This
Yeah, put that up
looks
there so they can
awesome.
see it.
There were preview pages for the Ms.
Miss
Marvel. It's G.
Marvel.
Willow Wilson and Adrian Olfono who did the art for Runaways, the first run. And G. Willow Wilson is awesome. She did Air over at Vertigo. She did
I remember
Cairo.
Air. That was really good.
She did a Vixen miniseries that I really liked over at DC. But it's like the Ms. Marvel. Sorry, I'm super psyched for this book.
No, you should be.
She's Muslim American and
But she's
looks
kind of like
rad.
a groupie who like gets.
She's inspired by. I think she gets like
Inspired
saved in
by.
the background of one of the issues of Captain Marvel from last year.
Yeah.
So they kind of went back and was like, that was her. That she
Oh,
just
that's a
gets
great idea.
evacuated. Like and so anyway, yeah, it's super
No, it's okay.
exciting.
Awesome.
That I just distracted us. Amazing X-Men.
Well, I mean, how many female titles does Marvel have right now?
Funny, you
Don't
should
they
mention
have
that.
like?
Because, you know,
Not a lot
X-23
to
doesn't
begin
get her own title, but they just started Black Widow.
How's that? Is it good?
It's wordy,
It's wordy.
but that's okay.
Oh, but Noda's
That's
doing
okay.
really good work.
No, that is nice.
It's beautiful,
He's really having a
and
good
that's what I
time
get
with it.
frustrated about because, well, here, I'll talk about this first. Because I want to talk about this next. You want to talk about, like I said, you're going to bring back Nightcrawler. I like Jason Aaron's take on it, where it's just like, so where's Nightcrawler? He's dead. Okay, what happens when you die? You go to heaven. Cool.
Right.
The X-Men are going to go to heaven,
Yeah.
and we're going to try to find Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
And it's the one time, like, look at that, that's so awesome. I gotta shut that one off.
Oh.
That is classic Nightcrawler,
Yeah,
man.
and
That
with
is
the cutlass.
That's late 87 to 94.
It's the
Like,
swashbuckling Night.
it's
Speaking of
just-
being 90s kids, like, that's my Nightcrawler.
That's my
Oh, no.
Nightcrawler.
And like,
Excalibur Nightcrawler. Like,
Yes!
so iconic. Like that suit, like you never need to change that. Like that suit is just so
And here's
perfect.
the
Violent,
thing.
do not
I like that
update.
They
Do
can,
not reboot.
yeah.
they can draw a dashing and sexy, like, Storm and Nightcrawler, and she's fully falling for it.
Yeah.
Like, by the way, I might be banging your friend, but God, we had some good times. Like,
Man, I'll tell you, I've always been interested in Nightcrawler romantically. You
Yeah, a
know,
little bit.
and I didn't bring
sounds
any
like it could be a
titles.
fun time.
I didn't bring any
Because he
other
would make
titles,
you
unfortunately,
laugh,
but
and, you know,
yeah.
And philosophical debates, and you know, and then he's very flexible.
life and agile, yes.
So here we are with. Are we done talking about X-Men? 'Cause we're never done.
Yeah.
We're never done talking about X-Men.
No, X-Men is always.
They're ending our Wolverine and the X-Men and replacing it with another Wolverine and the X-Men, and hopefully it will be just as good. But at least we have Amazing X-Men.
Talk about that. 'cause
Wait,
I-
they're replacing with another Wolverine in the
They're
X-Men?
rebooting it. They basically, he was gonna do them both. He decided he had too much going on and couldn't
Yeah.
handle both. So they were gonna end Wolverine and the X-Men.
Yeah.
But I guess there's another writer that he's been working with on some online stuff that I haven't been reading. But like someone that he like has a good connection with, and like
Right.
they've buddied up before. Jason Latour. He I think took over after Brubaker on the Winter Soldier book.
Okay.
But, anyway, so they're bringing back Wolverine and the X-Men, but Jason Latour is writing it.
Are they going to renumber it?
Yes, new number 1.
No.
It's Marvel right now. Everything has 7 numbers, and one of them is number 1. Like,
It's
Okay.
like too many number ones, man. Like, and same with DC. I mean, they both have kind of done that.
But I think Marvel kind of is taking that idea, like, we'll keep the numbering system, but we throw the .1 in,
Yeah.
so that you know that it's going to be a new storyline, new story arc, and that's how they're trying to make it less daunting for people who do want to hop on to new titles.
and totally get behind
No.
the intention there is great. it's always so mixed in execution because any decision you make is going to confuse somebody.
Right.
Like, if you do put the numbers back, you're confusing people. If you don't put the numbers back, you're intimidating people.
Yeah.
Right.
If you try to do both, you're
feel
really
like
confusing people, but you might have the best of both worlds. Like
branding it with that arc name like helps so much, you know, and I wish they would really like focus on that.
But then
Well, here
people
you
also
go.
get confused because they can't tell what the title of the book is.
Yeah.
Well, like for instance, like this is
Can't win.
the Trial of Jean Grey #1,
But it's
but
actually
it's
all
still
new X-Men.
actually
But
all new
yeah.
X-Men 22.
Right.
But they've written 22 point now as if that is a number.
Exactly.
That is not a number.
Oh, look at that! It is 22 point now. That is so
Point.
weird.
And some of the Inhumanity tie-ins are like 15 point INH. Which makes sense to me because I work at a store and I have to keep track of all these things and I have
Yeah.
like computers.
So it's like
INH is Inhuman?
Inhumanity,
Yeah.
yeah.
so is it kind of like their take on like the Dewey Decimal System?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, managing a fictional universe is really weird.
Yeah.
It's really it's a tough job. Like
So Black Widow.
Black Widow. No,
So,
I
yeah.
mean we'll keep going.
It's one of a slate of female-led books being relaunched in the new all new Marvel now.
Right, so here we
we're
go. We
excited
got-
for She-Hulk. That's almost here. I'm excited. For
I like
that.
Black Widow. When I say that
Captain
I'm
Marvel
worried
and
that
Ms. Marvel getting new #1s each.
wait, say that again.
Captain Marvel and Ms. Marvel both getting new #1s.
Okay,
along
cool.
with She-Hulk and Black Widow in this wave.
Okay,
It's kind of exciting.
so again, more #1s.
well, when they're ready to do Dazzler, they can just give me a call.
Hear that?
Hear that,
Guys? Make that
Anytime
call.
now.
You make that call. She may or may not still be kidnapped in a closet. I don't know. Does
Right.
that come up in
I
the?
know. No, it's still weird. It's still Dazzler getting shit on, you know, as usual.
But
know.
this is what I'm worried about. Is that when I say it's wordy, it's so well done. The art's awesome. I'm really excited for the story and the take on the character. But everyone complains about there not having enough female led solo titles.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that the wordiness is going to totally scare away the numbskulls that are like, it's words, I don't understand. I want to just see hot catsuit Black Widow. It's a great title.
Yeah, but you feel like it is like appropriate for girls, so you think girls would get excited about this
I think
Black
it's appropriate
Widow?
for everyone, but I definitely would like to see more women reading comics. So yeah, pick up Black Widow.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I mean I read the preview pages for this in the Marvel Now .1. I haven't actually sat down with the first 2 issues, which are out so far. But like I loved what I read, and if it errs on the side of wordiness, as long as the story is working and is somewhat compelling, then that means that it's the best version of what we want to see happen, which is Marvel and DC taking cues from all these image breakouts and all these other things and taking a chance on stuff, on
Totally.
different
Yeah.
tones, on creators with a genuine vision for something. And that's amazing.
Different tones is the perfect way to like describe it. It's like I would just love to see more tonalities in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
You know, like I like let the more weird indie guy do something. Let the superhero guy do something. Let the like horror person, you know.
Like,
like-
Emerson is
totally.
a huge indie guy. Like,
Yeah,
they-
he did
he's
the
done
Jake Ellis books.
Yeah,
Image.
and so I think this is really cool. That, like when you talk about tones,
Yeah.
this is his
Well, it's
tone.
like-
Yeah.
it's
This
like
is what he's known for.
You know, Young Avengers, like that has a tone that no other book has in the Marvel universe, and it's just so great. Like it's such a fun perspective.
Yeah.
So let's see, what else do we want to talk about? Here about I'm gonna tease this.
Yeah, we were talking about that next. Me and Amy need to catch up on it, so we're gonna have a big
Here,
talk about
this
it
is
next.
Miracle
It's so
Man
exciting.
#1,
Yeah,
surrounded by mystery, controversy, and awesomeness.
yeah.
By the original author.
That's-
by
this, like I said, this is why we're gonna tease it because not everyone's read it yet. But Mr. Alan Moore did not want to have his name included on this original run. They're reprinting, so it says right here, story by the original author.
Which I don't know why, but it just seems to me like it should be illegal in some way. Like, don't you
No.
have to? I know there's no actual law of like disclosing things, but it seems weird to me.
when law and art.
But like I said, we're only teasing us because I'm gonna take it away. We're gonna read the first 2 issues and talk about it.
Yeah,
in the
we're
next
gonna talk about
podcast.
it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You were saying that you were really into Pretty Deadly, which I've been
Yes.
like eyeballing, but I haven't picked up.
It will make your eyeballs so happy.
This was really good. This
It
is
will make your
written
brain
by,
happy as well.
DeConnick. Who's
Kelly
Matt,
Sue
Matt,
DeConnick.
Matt Fraction's wife, right?
Yes, they are making
Sweet.
super babies.
They're gonna be the greatest comic creators
Their
of
kids
all
are named
time.
Henry and Tallulah. Could they be any more adorable?
Yeah.
They live in Portland. They're both crazy indie comic book creators, and they have kids named Henry and Tallulah.
Apparently, they all live in Portland.
Yeah, they do.
Apparently, all of them live
That's-
in Portland. Like I was talking to
Yeah. Are those?
Keaton, Joe Keaton, and he was like, "Yeah, Portland, man." I was like, "We're all here." you
It's
know?
insane.
He's like, "Come here to Portland." So I'm really gonna try this year to like make a trip to Portland if I
I got to make my first trip there last fall. It was
can.
super awesome.
I want to go to Portland. I want to go to San Francisco. I want to go to the Grand Canyon. fun. I want to go to Yellowstone. I have a whole lot of stuff I want to do this year.
That'd be
I need to
fun.
get out of the city, more and explore the state, I think. But by the way,
No, keep
Pretty
talking.
Deadly. What do you think? You're into it?
Pretty
Weird?
Deadly
It's good?
is written also mature audiences. There's nudity, but I love the dialogue is beautiful. The dialogue is so Western.
It's a Western
so-
with fantasy
yeah.
elements to it, like really strong ones. But so you get this sort of.
And the
Focus on
main
this out a little
character
bit.
is a girl named Death, or a girl.
We're not quite sure. There's a lot of main characters right now.
Yeah, there
Okay,
are.
all right.
It's
and
pretty great.
yeah, and it's pretty like you're not centered around one person.
Okay.
Every character has their own story, and all the stories are definitely entwined. Don't feel like the first time you pick up the issue, you go, I'm not quite sure what I just read.
Yeah.
The good news is it's a quick read, so it's perfectly okay. Put it down for 10 minutes, go crack a beer, and then go back and start over again.
Yeah.
And spend another 5 minutes rereading the issue.
It helps if you
It's
have
a
a
lot,
tolerance for getting introduced to a world without needing all of the narrative threads to slot perfectly into place right away. That will
Perfect.
help, because
Yeah.
I've talked to people who've read the first couple and it's not really coming together for them yet, and I just feel like they're missing out. They're missing out on this world.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful. And Emma Rios is the artist, and she does just amazing, gorgeous, psychedelic things. But like,
And especially like gorgeous psychedelic,
Yeah.
but like flip of a page, and all of a sudden there's a really shocking panel that kind of like takes you by surprise.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do in comics.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really digging this title, and I guess they were only one issue away from having the first arc done. Like I said, don't be dissuaded by this title as far as like, I'm not quite sure what's going on yet, because I have a sneaking suspicion the way it's going, it's going to totally come together in a really nice, perfect, like poetic way.
Yeah.
But it does have like a lot of things where it's spirit totems, and maybe certain people represent certain spirit totems, and there's a whole story between these two
totem
totems
is a
being
cat.
like, that's true.
It is true.
It is.
I'm a cat.
What are
you? Yeah, what are you?
mine is a hedgehog.
Aww.
I like hedgehogs. They're cute.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
They look really cute when they're eating
Amy?
food. I don't know.
I'm
what it is.
afraid it's also a cat.
Yeah.
Kitty cat.
Yeah.
Hedgehogs and
But-
cats get along.
So you get side characters who are sort of also narrating the story.
Yeah,
So
so
there's
you've got
perspectives
like
on
you've
it.
got like mystical characters narrating the story, but then I also feel like the characters themselves represent other things. And
And you also get your first introduction to some of the background mythology in the form of a ballad being sung in like
Which
this town
was-
square.
Yeah.
Which is this amazing. It works so well, and I kind of want. Like I need to. I know some people have started setting it to music, and I need to go look that up because it was just.
it does have like a very nice cadence to it where it's really easy to read.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know how like as a writer like to be able to tell a story all in verse and rhyme. That seems so hard to me. It really does.
Yeah,
like I
no,
can tell a
that's-
story, I can tell a narrative, but like I got to have it fucking rhyme and make sense.
That's a whole other.
Ugh.
No, that's like a whole other brain skill.
Yeah.
Like that's some weird shit.
Yeah.
But by the way.
So definitely pick up Pretty Deadly. This is such a great title.
By the way, everybody.
Uh-huh.
Upon Kirk and Amy's recommendation, I finally read Hawkeye.
Yes!
And it was really good. You guys were totally right. I cannot find it. It is somewhere in the bedroom.
Imagine you're looking at Hawkeye.
Imagine.
Aw.
Sorry, I could not find it. I was.
This is
looking in
really
there.
nice. Look
Should
at
we
this.
stop talking until
Wait,
you're back?
hold
or
on one
do-
second.
Are we still talking?
Oh, look at that. That's a really nice panel
Why don't
right
you talk
there.
about this? Because you forgot you're bringing this too.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm reading Game of Thrones prequel graphic novel.
Oh, how is that?
And I haven't read the Dunk and Egg stuff. I've been kind of saving it for a rainy day. But I mean, the comic's good. It seems like from what I know about it, it seems to be following the story. But the coloring is really shitty. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but I don't know. Like it just, it's really
Not working for you.
It doesn't please my eyeballs to look at it. So I mean, the art it's like the art's not bad. The art's fine. You know, I can deal with the art, but I'm not a huge fan of the coloring.
This doesn't look really gritty.
It's not.
Doesn't look-
It's not.
Doesn't look dirty enough.
I know.
Yeah.
It just it needs a little bit more. But you know, I don't know.
Because God, like if the rest of the comic looked like that'd be awesome.
That would be good.
That looks great.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the fact that
But it's
yeah,
like,
this just looks way too.
Comic booky?
Looks a little too Prince Charming. Is that what it is?
yeah. I don't know.
Me too.
I just felt like I don't know. It's missing a little
Yeah.
something. You know,
Yeah.
the art was missing a little
I
something.
don't see a single boob in this thing either.
No boobies either. There's
hell, man?
no boobs.
What
in
kind of
it.
Game of Thrones story is this?
I'm really disappointed.
Oh look, the Watcher makes an appearance.
He's hanging out.
Oh, that's the Watcher, isn't it? Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, how's the story?
It's like, I'd rather probably just read the book.
Yeah, I haven't read the Duncan X stuff.
Yeah, I haven't either, but it's just George R. R. Martin, like, he's just... I feel like, I mean, in a comic book, you have all these pictures, and I feel like the book would have been more descriptive than these pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have had... But the thing is, it's, like, my imagination, so, like, I imagine things to be, like, crazy. So, like, and in this, like, things aren't very crazy in this, the artwork. It's not as sumptuous as I imagine when I read.
Is it a straight adaptation of an existing story, or is
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It's just, but I don't know how far it gets. I don't know, you know, like I said, I haven't read the original stuff yet. So.
Right.
You have to have the right reason for adaptations. Like, adapting things willy-nilly can...
Well, it's weird because, like, you know, Tyson kind of wants me to read more of the Game of Thrones, you know, comics, because we talk about comics, we talk about Game of Thrones, but it's like, I've already read the book, I've already watched the show, like, do I really need to read the comic too? Like, that's too many versions of one
especially if it's not going to be...
I don't know.
Like... If you're already reading the better version.
Well, yeah, and if you had, like, Jill Thompson, like, watercoloring it, like we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
like, doing some crazy artwork for it, then I'd be more interested. But
You know
the
what?
artwork that I've seen thus far, it hasn't been, you know...
You know what'd be crazy? Like, to reproduce the, like, different people's chapters thing in the books.
Yeah.
It would be fun to do Game of Thrones comics with different artists for each person's perspective.
That'd be
awesome.
So
like, Jaime
awesome.
literally looks more handsome in the Cersei chapters than anywhere else.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like, he just, like,
Which
golden
is
god.
weird.
Right?
It's totally weird.
And then you're reading them and you're probably like, oh man, he looks handsome. Oh god, I'm participating in this. And then it gets you, you know? Like,
yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Well, that Hawkeye is gone.
I don't know what I did with it this morning. I was like reading
You were
it.
reading it overnight. I saw you fall asleep.
Yeah, no, I was reading it, and
Is
then
it-
I got tired, and then I put it down, then I went to sleep, and
Is
then I
it-
woke up.
You
and then
absorbed
I-
it into you.
And then I
Is it
picked
next to
back
the
up.
toilet?
Maybe it's
And then
under
I-
the mattress or something.
It might be. I think it's in the bed or something, because I picked it up and I read the rest of it this morning when I woke up.
Okay.
So, because I was like, I wanted to read it before we did.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, it was good.
I love that he made the policy of he was only doing 1 or 2 part stories at most.
You weirdo, you slept with it under your pillow.
It wasn't. So here's Hawkeye. There's another trade paperback out right now. This is only the first one. There are 2.
There's 2.
So I've only read the first one thus far, but after reading the first one, I am definitely going to pick up the hardcover that has both the first and second volumes in it.
So this is written by Matt Fraction.
Matt Fraction is
Fraction
the
is
best.
killing it right now.
Yeah.
Um,
This is so good.
I'm
not
gonna
interested.
get up because I don't care if I'm out of frame for this thing.
I'm not interested in Hawkeye really that much as a character, but this made me totally love him and Kate. I love getting all the
Kate
Kate
Bishop.
Like,
Oh, so
she's
much good Kate Bishop action.
This is so
really good Kate Bishop action.
That
It was like-
introduction where it's like she's spoiled and blah blah blah. She's pretty great.
yeah.
Do we just freeze?
And they-
Yeah,
and
the
they
camera
do-
froze
they
us
have a-
somehow. I'm sorry.
Do they have a
Uh-oh.
Nope.
memory?
Oh.
You guys, memory card fall right on that.
Well,
You gotta just keep going.
all
You
right.
gotta keep going. No more.
Their like flirty non-sexual thing is one of my favorite things in comics right now.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. I was like, what's the deal with them? Because I know they're flirty, but they're not doing it.
Because
but,
that would be weird.
you know,
Right.
Well, you know, like they're Marvel characters. That's what they're supposed to do is hook up and have weird.
That's true, but I remember when,
But that's more
when Husk
X-Men.
hooked up with Angel. I have
Yeah.
strict rules about my generations of
Yeah.
heroes, apparently. I get
Yeah.
weirded out.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you on that. I'm totally with you on that.
I don't know.
But it makes, like, because he's such a ladies' man, but he's so respectful with her. Like, that speech
Yeah.
where he's just like, because I don't want to sleep with you. Like, I
Yeah.
hope that's in volume 1. But that was so good.
I
like,
like it. She's like, you won't sleep with me, like, you know, like,
like,
it's offended.
yes, exactly.
Like, and it's like, yeah, I thought that was a really good moment too. I stopped on that moment and I was like, that was good.
it was so good. Like,
really
and
good.
it's just human writing.
Yeah, and the Madame Mask is so awesome.
Madame Mask was awesome.
Like that was so much
Oh.
fun. Like the bro. Those
There's
guys.
a team of artists on it,
Bro.
but they all work really well.
Yeah.
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 When it's only like a 3-color palette, it looks like they're working with.
I mean, it's a
I
very, very like pulled back, subtle, subdued palette. You know,
And you can
it's-
hand this book to a lot of people who don't read comics because they haven't developed a visual vocabulary, and it will communicate really well to
yeah.
them.
Okay, I mentioned this
definitely.
before with
really
Sex
good
Criminals.
shot selection.
Oh,
Is
Sex
that
Criminals is so good.
So
oh my God.
good, yes. But that's the comic. Matt Fraction's writing comics right now, and I'll even go back to what his wife is doing with Pretty Deadly also. That they are writing comics that instantly people are like, I don't like comic books. I'm like, then read this.
Yeah.
This is what I'm like introducing people to. Like if they're telling me that Sex Criminals is just like, well, it doesn't have any superheroes in it. I'm like, well, screw you. You're gonna love it. You're gonna be able to see what comics can do.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
like
Well, just human,
so
human
goddamn
writing.
good.
Just human writing. People just talking about sex, how people just talk about sex in their real life. Like, it's just like you and your friends, or you and your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, or whatever.
And like, there's some scary moments where, like, and I kind of relate to Barton a little bit. Like, when he finally goes, like, dude, I'm an adult man. I've been living in this apartment for so long. Like, I can really put it together by now.
Yeah.
And for me, like, it was like sitting in my apartment that I've lived in for 6 months, kind of looking at parts of it, like, I still haven't put shelves up yet. I still haven't organized some of this stuff like the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
When you come to like a weird like relation, like I can relate to that.
I really like the moment when they were on
And
the
then
roof.
I hung up shelves.
and then he got his life together.
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Literally getting Kirk to get it together.
Yeah, literally. Thank you.
No, I mean, that's what they're there for.
The interaction with him and Tony Stark was great. It's just it's such a good.
Well, you were saying
goddamn
one of the
title.
rooftop parts?
Well, it's like the rooftop parts where he goes at the rooftop and they have like a little cookout every Sunday or something, and he's hanging out and they're like, "Oh, you're an Avenger." He's like, "Nah, man, I'm not like that." And then Shield shows up and just like takes him, and the guy's like, "Yeah, you're not an Avenger." Like that was really funny. I like that a lot, and I like how like Shield just comes and takes him.
Like,
and,
we gotta go.
I love Maria Hill like showing up for a minute. Like, I mean, it was really good.
I can't wait till you get to one of the one with all the ladies in Volume 2.
Oh yes.
And I mean, and talking about tone too, like this is such an interesting tone. Like it's a different take on Hawkeye, it's a different take on superhero comics. It's a different tonality than we're used to, and it's so refreshing and so much fun.
And everyone should also check out his Iron Fist run when Matt Fraction and Ed Brubaker were working with that same artist, David Aja, a couple years ago on the Iron Fist
need to check that
thing.
out.
It was that one book that made everyone care a lot about Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Really
See,
awesome.
Iron Fist. I've actually been kind of into Iron Fist because when Bendis turned put him into the Avengers.
Totally fair. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like we'd make jokes like, "Hey, fist him," and then like. It's really uncomfortable when people tell me that. Like, I can't believe they snuck that in. But, like, to make that joke about that character and be like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You want to go back to this for a second?
What's going on in Uncanny X-Men right now? And also, I know something about a Magneto comic coming out. I need to know. I don't know. I just have heard whispers. I don't know. So you guys need to fill me in on what's going on with the Magneto comic.
Wait, this thing's back on again? That's so weird.
Maybe back on.
Maybe again.
Experimental.
Okay.
It's wrong.
All right.
Experiment!
So we have Uncanny X-Men.
Okay, we have Uncanny. And we kind of... Do you want to talk about it? You guys wanna...
I hate being behind on things. I'm so sorry.
Oh, shoot.
Well,
Don't worry about spoilers, though. I should be caught up if I
it's
don't
a
want spoilers.
Magneto-centric issue, and it also kind of brings around Mystique and what her endgame has been as far as all the big robberies and why she's masquerading around as Dazzler. And
so that storyline starts.
That storyline comes
Call
around.
back to the people who noticed earlier that we did not know what was going on with Dazzler.
Yes,
That's because we have not read this yet.
This one. And I loved it because the way they write the tone, it's fully Magneto, but I love it when he heads over to Madripoor. And it's him meeting up with all his old Brotherhood dudes.
Nice.
And the way they talk to him is so respectful.
Yeah.
Like, it's big, like, Eric, so good to see you again. Like, handshake. And thank you for that thing that time with the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's so mafioso, but it's also, like, the way they handle him with such respect.
Big pimpin'.
Because he's fucking Magneto.
Yeah.
That tone gets across so well.
That's cool.
Nicely.
Well,
It's rad.
what's gonna go on in his
in his
solo
solo
title?
series.
Yeah, he's gonna have a solo series. Is it gonna be like
I think Magneto is
Magneto,
more...
man about town, most interesting man in the world, Magneto?
Well, he's pretty much Leisure Suit Larry with a goatee and a shaved head right now. It's pretty
I
cool.
like it. I like that he's. They're finally starting to age him a little bit more though.
Yeah.
Because like he's been due for a little bit of an aging. I know that he got reborn or something a while ago. I don't know, some weird shit was going
Well,
on.
for a while he
but-
was Joseph.
Oh, good
And then
times.
Joseph
Yeah.
and-
Lying. Those were bad times.
Let's talk about Titans comics. I'm
It's
sorry.
something weird. I don't know. We don't talk about it. But yeah, it's funny because now you have Magneto, who's like he looks more like he's in his 60s and stuff.
Yeah.
Now. And then you have like Scott, and they're like more like 40s.
Yeah.
And then now you have the 20-year-olds, like
Yep.
and teenagers, up and comers.
So I actually have avoided plot descriptions of what the new Magneto book is about.
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
think
I
there's-
don't know what's going to go on. I'm kind of hypothesizing the idea. Sorry about that. The idea that maybe Scott Summers is way more Magneto than he cares to admit.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if Magneto's now getting to the point where he's way more old Scott Summers Xavier than he cares to admit.
Ah.
I think that'd be really cool. I think like the plan didn't work, and now we got to go about it a different way.
Yeah, I like it. I really like the
That's my
idea
hypothesis.
of them.
That's my idea.
I like the idea of them switching places, though. I think
I do.
I mean,
Yeah.
that makes sense. It's like, yeah, of course they would. Like, that's perfect.
And there was another X-Men title I think I forgot to bring. Oh, Wolverine and the X-Men.
Yeah.
We finally had Wolvie and Scott have a bro down and have beers together again.
Oh, did they?
But it was still like a drunken, like, you're still a dick. Shut up, jerk. And like they're drinking together.
Remember that time?
Yeah.
I hope my clone isn't making out with your younger self right now.
I
That
know,
would be
right?
weird.
Weird.
But seriously, my female clone of me, pretty hot.
Oh.
Pretty hot.
And then they
That's
both
so
are,
weird.
and then
Some kind of
and then they're
incest.
both like, don't talk about young Jean. You know, somebody tries to bring it up, and both of them are like,
Oh, you know what? They do drink to Jean, though.
they do drink to Jean.
That was cool.
That's cute. Well, now they have like a little baby Jean that like they kind of have to set that weird sexual tension aside for and actually try to help her for once.
Right.
You know, instead of having to like
Well, let's not hope they're
make
not
her
having
choose and, you know.
sexual tensions over 16-year-old Jean Grey. That was a little weird.
Yeah, beasts. Yeah.
Is there anything about her life that isn't bizarre?
I know that poor girl.
They
And,
talk
like,
about it in
but-
that issue.
God, I love what they're doing with her character though. I mean, she's just so interesting and fucked up. You know?
I've
like-
always loved Jean, and it's been amazing having people be like, Jean is interesting.
So yeah,
It's like, well, yeah.
yeah.
We
yeah.
just you didn't notice because she was so in the thick of her weird
Right.
life for so long.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Yeah, and one of the new X titles, I can't remember right now because it was like an X-Men bazaar this week. But there's one title when she's sitting with young Scott and like she won't open up. And he's fully like, what's wrong? She's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe because I found out that I died twice and I'm dealing with it.
Yeah.
Maybe that I'm not back in my regular time and I'm dealing with it.
Right.
And then I find out that my future self goes completely crazy.
Right.
And I'm still dealing with
And
it.
I
Like,
have
I think
you
that's
know,
in that
and-
Trilogy Grey 1, the
Is
All
that
New
it?
X-Men,
Yeah.
I think.
So I think she's just going around
and
like
she
talking
has new
about
powers. I mean, like she's got
Yeah.
telepathy, which she didn't have before. It was only telekinesis, so she's dealing with that. I mean, she does have a lot.
and she literally
of
lanes
pressure
up
on
like,
her.
I'm dealing.
Like, fuck you, I'm dealing. Like, get off my balls. Like,
Seriously, get on my balls.
like-
Scott, get off Jean's balls.
so
What else do you want to talk about?
so is that it for comics? Is that
I
all
think
the
so. I
comics?
mean, like, I could just talk about Batman, but it's Scott Snyder still just rocking.
Good
it,
brief
so
us
that's all
on
you need to know.
Spidey. There's big doings in
do
Spidey.
that.
Oh, Spidey. Big news on Spider-Man. This is the last issue with Doc Ock, Peter, dealing with the fact that he got the symbiote. Symbiote doesn't work. Dr. Octopus thought he could control it. Obviously,
Yeah,
we know he
right.
couldn't. Again, goes back and gives credence to a theory that we love the fact that Flash Thompson is in control of the symbiote. And I love the fact that they keep exploring the fact that Flash knows how to talk to the symbiote and kind of like calm it down and let it know that everything's okay and that they really do belong together. I know a lot of people hate on Agent Venom. I fucking love it.
No, I like that idea though. It's like the idea that the symbiote is like it's a living entity, right? So attacking it, yeah, of course, it's already an aggressive entity. So if you attack it,
yeah.
like it's gonna go nuts. But if you're like, it's okay, baby, it's okay, baby, and if you approach it with this like sympathetic attitude, it seems
show
to
me what's
calm
going
down.
We're going to, because I have to throw a spoiler alert out.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Spoilers. Marvel announced that in April, Peter's coming back.
Yeah.
So with that, Ghost Peter Parker showed up again.
Saves the day.
That's Superior Spider-Man number 25.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Exciting stuff. Peter's on his way back. For those of you who've been not doing
There's been
it.
there's been a lot of pining.
Yeah, I'm not with it. I don't
See, this
care.
guy is all about Peter Parker. And
I love Peter Parker.
And he's like, no, like, I
Yeah.
love this Doc Ock shit. Like, because I think that they could do a lot more with him. Like, I think they've done a lot with him, but I think they've just been hitting the marks. Whereas I feel like you could stop a minute and let it breathe a little bit more, you know? Like, I'd like to see more about him and Anna. I'd like to see more about, you know, him dealing with all sorts of weird stuff. I mean, there's like all sorts of like Aunt May, his thing with Aunt May, you know.
Yeah, so it's just, I mean, it's all culminating to like the big Goblin War.
See, and the Goblin thing is just, I don't know.
And we're still not even
fuck.
sure if it's I think he's beeping. We're still not even sure if it's Osborn and the Goblin
See, that's
costume.
the thing.
We're
I'm
not sure.
I don't know. I like everything else but the Goblin storyline that's going on.
Right?
You know, it's kind of like I'm like, yeah, goblins, yeah. Like, get back to the personal stuff. Like, I don't know. I just want more personal stuff.
And this is
Should
again
be the
'cause I like
Goblin
to-
Queen. Madeline Pryor just busts up in the Spider-Man titles. Like, I heard you like goblins.
yeah, you guys
hey.
recruiting goblins? I'm the queen of goblins.
Where's the application? Just let me
Marvel,
in.
just do that. I
got
want to see that.
A mean underboob, and I'm here to kill. So
Hey, mean underboob's kind of awesome, guys.
No, underboob is really hot, and she is one of the only ones who rock it.
And by the way, if you're a cosplayer that rocks that costume and you're able to do it,
Google
God
it.
bless you.
No, Google it. There's a woman.
place in heaven for you.
No, Google
Yeah.
it. There's this woman who did it, and she has giant
It-
boobies.
Tracts of land.
And it's
Goblin Queen
ridiculous. It's
cosplay?
obscene.
Well, it's official. We are Googling boobs on the Comic Book Girl 19
we are.
podcast.
But it's like whoa, you know.
We got this?
You can show it right
Oh yeah, hold on.
Oh,
Here
yeah.
we go. Yeah, this
That's
chick.
her,
That's
yeah.
the chick. First
Show
one
it
that
to the
pops
camera.
up. Well,
Well, here, I'll put it up there. I will do this. I will.
This is avoiding editing and saving us time.
yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
So this cosplayer, if I remember correctly, is awesome.
First
by the way.
one on Google image search.
Wow.
Is it too bright that we
Goblin
can't really see
Queen.
the full effect?
Yeah.
But
Her milky bosoms are blown out a little bit. You can't
Oh,
see.
yeah.
Just
It's a little better.
tilt it a bit. Oh, those are some huge tits.
Oh my goodness, guys.
Oh, sorry.
no, I think the credit goes to the fact that she's able to
look at
create a costume that's that cool.
That's insane.
That's
That took a lot of
And
work
if I
and
remember
is
correctly,
amazing.
she
Very
cosplays a
enticing.
lot,
yeah.
and all her costumes are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like they're straight out of the comic book.
Yeah.
I've never seen cleavage like that before.
It's crazy.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to distract
See, that's-
you from the cleavage, dude. I'm
that's-
trying to talk about you would
You
really
know-
appreciate her cosplaying skills. Someone who
Oh,
made
yeah,
an
she's
awesome.
doing a great job.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Yeah, this is my thing too. It's like I don't know. I was like, looking at some cosplay the other day, and you see all these girls and they dress up, but it's like, you know, a lot of us don't have the cleavage that the ladies have in the comic books. But you know what you can do? You can put on a bra and you can stuff that thing, because I do it every time I'm Dazzler, and it totally works. All right. So just
Secrets.
So ladies,
Being revealed.
if you're doing it, do it. You know, invest the money. Get some little
Luckily, I
chicken
don't
cutlets.
have the stuff. It's nice.
Yeah, some little chicken cutlets.
It's okay if you don't. It's also okay if you do.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
know, Kitty Pryde, she doesn't need a giant rack. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
You're
like,
saying stuff it to portray the character accurately.
yes. But like Dazzler, it's like I don't want to go around with my little whatevers, and I'm Dazzler. I want to be bodacious. When
She
I'm
wants to be
Dazzler. I want to
Dazzler.
be Dazzler with the
Aw.
things, you know. So same with Jean Grey. When I was Jean Grey, it's totally stuffed that thing, because she's like supposed to be like, damn, you know.
She's
so-
womanly, yeah.
She's very womanly. Yeah.
Not
so.
that I just implied that people without curves aren't womanly.
Well,
I take that back.
but I mean, you know, it's fine.
I don't know. I definitely think like I love when people don't let their kind of body stop them from cosplaying.
Yeah, you're
other
right.
things.
You're right.
But I also think it's important to say that if that's what you want to do, if it makes you feel like you're doing a more close interpretation of the character, do it.
Yeah.
Don't feel weird about it. Don't feel
Yeah,
like
don't feel weird
I'm
about it.
lying to people or whatever. Like, no, you're in costume.
you're a character.
You're also not a superhero.
Yeah.
If that's what feels right for you, like, do it.
Speaking
Yes.
of cosplaying, you guys, I'm gonna bring it up again. You guys check out the new Doctor costume. I showed you guys earlier.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the new
yes.
Doctor Who
it's
costume.
gonna be so
The
awesome
Doctor.
to cosplay that.
It's dapper,
They released the Peter Capaldi's look for the new Doctor.
and I
Who.
love that now that older gentlemen have something to cosplay as.
Totally.
I'm like totally
Aw.
excited that like, because the young people, they got the Matt Smith, you know, they got
Right.
all that shit going on, but like now you have like the older crowd that can.
Awesome
And
thing
it
happened
looks
at the
pimp,
store
by
the
the
other
way.
day.
It's so cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's rocking Doc Martens on a 3/4 like peacoat. It's rad.
It's good.
It's freaking rad.
It's a good look. If that's a good look for an older man and it's still cool, you know.
yeah.
Fantastic thing. Somebody came into the store the other day with the bow tie and the jacket thing, and I was like, "Oh, are you cosplaying or do you just look awesome today?"
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Well, I guess kind of both." He had just come from the DMV. He took his license photo in stealth cosplay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is that not the
is
best idea?
Awesome.
Because they, I mean, A, almost certainly did not know what he was doing there.
Right.
And B, can they stop you?
No.
No.
Can they be like, oh, take off your snazzy bow tie for this picture?
No, they
That's
can't. No.
awesome.
As long as
Now
they,
he's Doctor
as
Who
long
in
as
his
they,
license photo.
as long as they don't know that he's trying to pull something.
Yeah?
You can do it.
So everybody, stealth cosplay your DMV photo. That's amazing.
Oh my
I
gosh.
like the fact that stealth cosplay is becoming a thing. Apparently, because like if you go to Disneyland, you're not allowed to dress up in full like character costume,
But you can
Why?
stealth cosplay.
but you can stealth cosplay.
Where
I think
you
the
where you
idea
put
is-
on an outfit in the same colors
on.
that kind of look similar
Hold
to
on.
the characters.
Hold
People
on.
think you work there. That's fine. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
I think probably because people would think
Oh.
you'd work there, or like you
Yeah.
can't have masks. I know,
Yeah.
Because
because
they might start tipping you or something.
But I like
Yeah.
the idea of stealth
well, because
cosplay.
if you go up and you like curse out a kid and whatever, and you
You're right.
happen to be
Sorry,
dressed
I
as
work here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you do this, like, I like
Gotcha.
self-cosplay because you get to come up with the idea of a casual outfit that somewhat simulates another costume, which is like a fun part of your brain to use. It's a very creative process to do something like that. So I think I'm all for it.
I've seen a ton of good ones with Hawkeye. Like
Yes,
various purple items of clothing.
That's
and
cool.
Like,
Yeah.
it's very easy to stealth cosplay either of the Hawkeyes.
They also do Dapper Day at Disneyland, and I've seen people they'll stealthily try to look as like Mickey Mouse with like the suspenders, but they're very dapper attire.
Yes.
Yeah, or like a dapper Goofy with like that color.
I like it.
Yeah, like that color coordination and like with like a cool little hat. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else? Is probably why they can't have people in costumes. Because every kid there is going to implicitly trust anyone in a costume.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. Did you see that? You guys saw that Facebook photo where that kid got lost at a con and then he went up to the Flash and Wonder Woman. Like, there's these people just dressed and like I can't find my parents. And so they helped him, like, took him to wherever lost kids are supposed to be. It's like so cute. That's an instance where it actually
amazing.
worked out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like some, pedophile or something.
That's
you
how
know?
it should go.
I know. Well, that's the thing. You never hear about stuff like that. Like, all you hear about is just negative shit all the time. And it's just like sucks. Like,
Yeah.
such a bummer, you know?
No, I mean, you hear about like the ugly side of cons more than you
Yeah.
hear about like that really great story.
Yeah.
Because cons are always supposed to be the place where it's safe,
Yeah.
literally. And
Seriously.
you do hear about these people that, not to name names, but people that were associated with certain cons who are not anymore because they get indicted on certain like pedo bear status. You know,
Like, ugh,
it's like, why, man? Why did you have to freaking
Why?
bring a blemish like that?
Yeah, it's like, we got it hard
know.
enough, man.
So last 10 minutes, what do you guys have?
Was there anything on your list or anything? Was there anything else?
If you guys covered all the comics, we covered everything on this list.
Well, I don't know.
It
What do
sounds
we
like
want?
we need to wrap it up then.
Well, how about this? Amy, you've got a new show.
I do.
Why don't we talk about
talk
Amy's
about
new show?
Aw.
Hey.
Thanks, guys.
Do one more ad for the...
Yes.
I forgot to talk about that. So, since about May of last year, I have been doing video blogs over on, there's a YouTube channel called Geek and Sundry, and they started a sister channel that was Geek and Sundry Vlogs. And they got a bunch of us, and then they added even more of us, and everybody had their different topics, and I was talking about comics. Like, in my room with my camera phone. Like, it was very fancy.
How many people, just like out of curiosity, they have talking about comics, like other than you?
That was just me.
So you're the only one.
I was
on
holding
Geek
it
and
down.
Sundry.
I mean, other people, like, there's a great, there's some other vloggers called Two Broke Geeks, and they do all kinds of, like, being nerdy on a budget. So they did a comic book episode, and the Geeking Out, they cover LGBT stuff, and they did, like, so people have touched on comics,
Right.
but I was
So
the
you're
only
the
one
only
whose,
one.
like, topic was comics.
All right.
And
Holding it down.
Nice. It was really, really fun, and it still is. But I am in the middle of a transition right now where I'm still going to do those and put them on my personal channel, which is technically part of the Geek and Sundry network. But I also have a show on the main channel on Geek and Sundry.
Someone went up to the big leagues.
Going up to the got called up.
My friends were making endless fun of me last week because now, based on the schedule, when you look at the header, it's like face of Felicia Day, face of me, face of, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's just because it's the day in between those other days. But like, so it's super weird. Anyway, the show is called Talking Comics Weekly, but instead of just me in front of my bookshelf talking about stuff, we've added like a going out and doing things component.
Yes.
And we're trying to keep them all very bite-sized, so I do a little bit less rambling than in my normal stuff. But we pick a new release, and then we do a little bit of briefing on it, and then we go out and have some kind of adventure, either closely or tangentially linked to it, and then we just wrap it up, and that's coming out every Wednesday on Geek and Sundry, and it has been crazy amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you guys so much.
I think we should just tear down that curtain really quickly and just talk about the fact that we all went to Amy's party.
Yeah, we did. We went to Amy's party.
Amy was so cool and invited us to her little like celebratory. I guess your roommate was like, "No, we gotta fucking celebrate this shit."
Yeah, my friend.
And we actually had a great time.
Oh my gosh, this is...
Don't be embarrassed. I ate all the chips and crackers.
I ate a lot of those. I ate some of those
hovered
cookies.
around-
There were chips, yes. There were leftover Christmas cookies that my
I
friend
hovered around
brought
the
from
food
their
a
Christmas
lot,
party.
and then in good form, like I always feel like the best thing you can do anytime you go to someone's house is bring something as a
It was
gift.
awesome.
And then I was like, I'm bringing a giant bottle of whiskey.
Kirk is a good guest.
So I was kind of hoping that, like, the giant bottle of
was-
whiskey would be like, hey, I don't know anyone here, but I brought the whiskey.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Kirk
And
had it
then
covered.
we all went out, and then,
Yeah, I had a little slip up personally.
we all did.
I got a little too wild. I don't know. Got a little too drunk. Got a little throw
Oh,
uppy.
the Cumber Girl 19.
You know.
Dude,
Well-
no, I think it just needs to be talked about that we totally, like,
I was a mess, guys.
we were
I was
already having a great time, and, you know, the people that had the 9-to-5ers were like, okay, we got to go be 9-to-5ers.
Yeah, we have to go
But
home. and go to
we
bed.
decided to go on a mission, like you do, where you're like,
To
so
get more-
what's open? And we're
to get more drunk.
to get more alcohol.
Yeah.
And
This will
so,
be evidence of how often I go out around my house because I was like, oh, there's this cool place right down here.
But they were you didn't know they were closing though. Like,
And they closed early.
it
That wasn't your fault.
It
Really
was
early.
like they closed at like midnight.
And now here's the best
it's like
part.
a Friday or
now
something.
you do literally have like this like conga line of somewhat buzzed people walking
like
up and
little
down
ducks.
Ventura Boulevard.
Little ducks. Yeah.
So we asked the first place for a recommendation for another place, and
Yeah.
then we all started heading out there,
Yeah.
and they're closed too.
Yeah, and then they were close too. And then we went to Casa Vega, which is a restaurant that used to be my go-to restaurant, but I've had 3 bad experiences there. I think they have new management. I don't know what's going on over
Well, I know
there.
after the remodel things changed.
I don't know. Something's weird, or it's not the same. And I've been meaning to break up with them. So we go to Casa Vega. I suck down like a friggin'
This is
margarita.
where I feel like this is really
like-
my fault. So this is a public apology for me screwing up.
No,
Was that
I
we
should
all
have
get
not
there.
drank. It's my
We
fault.
all get there. Amy's brother's sweet enough that he's like already organizing a table for everyone to sit down at.
Yeah.
My
Your
brother's
brother's
the
really
raddest.
cool, by
Yeah,
the
your
way.
brother was
Your brother's
awesome.
like super cool.
Everybody check
Please
out
give
Jade
him.
Allen.
Yeah, he was rad. And actually, everyone was rad. There was like no
Yeah,
bad
his
apples.
girlfriend was so sweet. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
adorable.
Yeah, she was a peach.
So here we are sitting down and fully. I'm like, all right, Team 19, you guys go sit down, get the chips and salsa ready. I've got the first round of drinks.
Yeah.
And I go up to the bar, and because I still keep my regular job, I'm a bartender at night. My first inclination is like Ventura Boulevard. We just walked in like right before these guys want to close.
Yeah.
Be super cool. And I order like 3 margaritas, and I also tip the guy $20.
Yeah.
So I go
So
back
you
to
made
the
'em
table.
strong.
So I made him. So I already had the money out ready to go. So we go to the
Deadly
table,
margaritas.
and sure enough, here's Team 19, and they already have drinks.
I don't
in
even
front of
know
them.
how they came. I don't even know where they came from.
So
Like,
now,
did I drink both of them?
oh yeah, we all did,
I drank both of them?
and then I went for more.
I drank both of them? What was I thinking? I don't even remember. Like,
Oh no!
I thought I only had one. I didn't know I had both.
We're effectively like now double fisting, which was totally not
cool.
the plan. That was not like the intention.
Yeah.
And I feel like a jerk, but I'm like, well, screw it. This guy's got $20 of my like tip money
Yeah.
on top of like the round that I just bought.
Uh-huh.
And then I remember going outside and talking to Amy's brother and his girlfriend and having a fantastic conversation. And then coming back in, and apparently I missed last call. So Booze Brain was fully like, well, dude, you got to like go get some more. And I went up to the bartender. I'm like, man, I totally missed the last call. I'm sorry. I was outside talking to some people. He's like, don't worry. I remember you.
Yeah, I remember you.
Pulls out not just like the regular margarita glass, like now pulls out like the gargantuan,
Oh
Yeah.
no!
like
the big-
bladder buster 7-Eleven margarita glass, and makes me one last Hail Mary of
Oh
a
my
cocktail.
gosh. Jeez.
And I'm like, got my money yet? He's like, dude, trust me, this is on me. You guys were awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sweet. And I remember thinking like halfway down through this drink, like, this is a mistake.
This is a huge mistake. Well,
See, I'm a terrible host because I was just stuffing myself with guacamole this whole time, and I kind of missed that a lot of this was happening.
You shouldn't have to babysit your people. They should
No,
know
we
better.
were well behaved, but it was like it was on the way out of
Well-
the restaurant that it was just like,
Well, this is the thing too. It's like,
oh man.
it's like I finished a drink, and then I was sitting there, I was having a great time, and then
It
all
was
of
hilarious.
a sudden it was just like, I gotta go to the bathroom right now. And I went to the bathroom, and then I was just like, throw up, blah. And because like my body will purge immediately if something bad's going on. And I was throwing up, and then I just went to go sit down by the sink or something, and then your brother's girlfriend came in,
TJ.
then you came in, and you guys were so nice, and I was like making such a mess of myself. I was like, I'm sorry.
it was not even that bad.
It was like,
guys.
I
Listen,
under
you
a lot of
were
Listening
pressure.
audience, not even that
lately,
bad.
I'm
When-
sorry.
But you
And-
weren't like that. You were fully like, sorry guys, that took a minute. Like the second you walked
I
outside, you
I
had it
feel
together.
like I was like,
No,
in my head, that's what's going on.
In your head, that may have been, but you were very together.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm shocked. But it's the best way to break up up with Casa Vega because I threw up all over that place, and I'm not going back.
Oh my gosh.
And then I somehow got in the car and really paid for it the next day, and it was.
You guys sound like a terrible influence on our poor 18-year-old intern.
I have not drank really since, to be honest. But I don't know, because me and Booze, we've been getting a little weird lately anyways. Like, we haven't been really agreeing lately, so maybe it was kind of like a good thing. So plus I had a photo shoot the next day, so like I had been throwing up all day, so I was super skinny for the photo shoot. So it kind of worked out in a fucked up way.
Oh, that's awesome. You're totally living the life of a regular model
I
anyways.
know. So it worked out perfect.
I need to go throw up before my shoot.
You know, no, I was like,
Kids, do not try this at
No,
home.
it was not on purpose. This was not on purpose. Okay, this is just happenstance.
Meanwhile, Amy, not drunk.
I did. Yeah, I know. Amy's like,
Amy had it together. She's in the corner, like, giggling, like, enjoying, like, chips and guacamole, and we're just like, what are we doing to ourselves?
I know. Well, it's like, you know, I don't know. I really am like a cat in that, like, you can't tell when I'm, like, messed up. You know? Like, I don't think I show it as much as in my mind.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I am, like, in my mind, I'm, like, fucking having a breakdown. But then other people, apparently I'm normal. And I have no idea that I'm actually normal.
From our photo shoot.
Yeah, we had our first big professional. No, don't show that one. It's like right up my ass. That's like
one of her and Robot.
Yeah, we did
our arcade.
Our first professional photo shoot.
Goodness.
And we're gonna have all these new promotional photos to make new all sorts of fun stuff with. Like, we're gonna make new banners, we're gonna make like new ads and new thumbnails and all sorts of stuff. So, and if we have like an interview with anybody, we can like give them like some cool promotional photos. But show them the pink
Here's
one.
another one.
Okay.
Are we going to put these up on the camera?
Oh my goodness.
We've completely run out of space at this point.
Yeah.
Like, this video Plopcast was a complete failure.
No.
Towards the end, at least.
Well.
That's why we don't do it.
Here,
we don't have
come
the
here. Let me see.
facilities for it.
This is my favorite photo though.
Are we still going on the audio?
How big was the
We have a
because I'm over
64
here
gig
posing
SD
for my
card,
life.
minimum's
And
32,
she's just
so-
like,
Did the
"Hey!"
64 ran out?
Yeah.
That's
They've all ran out.
amazing.
Yeah, but
And the
this
backup
is like
card
the
for that too
photo.
ran out.
Look at you.
That's crazy. Look at this crazy getup.
That's incredible.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's a new fan art outfit for everybody to draw. So
Where did it come from? It's fantastic.
look at this picture. I got it from some weird techno raver gear website.
Wait, we need to wrap this up.
Anyway,
Okay,
okay,
sorry.
okay,
Completely
sorry.
out of space, so
Yeah, we're completely out of space. All right,
And last thing
so
was the ad for the Catching Fire video.
Oh, yeah. So please, guys, go over to comicbookgirl19.com and go support. And when I say support, like, treat yourself for $2 to get an awesome $40 video.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
Or for a 40-minute video for $2.
yeah, and
Do it.
that is literally helping us. Like, every cent is like amazing. So I mean, it's
So
And
if
it's
you have
completely
enjoyed all
worth
of the
it.
wonderful work that they do here, and you have,
and you have
everyone needs to go do this.
Yeah. Plus, like I said, man, we're gonna go on a break for a minute, so there's not gonna be like videos for like a few more weeks. So like, this will tide you
And
over.
then our new season will start in late February.
Yeah, new season's starting late February, so we're really excited about it. It's gonna be awesome.
Woo!
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for everything. I'd like to thank Amy Dallin. Check her out on at Enthusiamy on
Yes.
Twitter, and then we have Captain Kirk at Kirk Likes Stuff on Twitter. So definitely follow them.
I like that we have the same name,
I know,
essentially.
right?
It's like
I
we're
know.
in favor of things.
we like
I'll
We're
just
very
go with
pro
that.
stuff.
We like our names and our basic commitment to enjoying things.
Right.
that's good. That's why I have
I
you guys
choose to be
around.
happy. Like,
And I'd also like to thank Alicia, our intern today, for helping us out with our
thank you.
crazy
Appreciate it. She did
video
awesome.
video plopcast, even though it was a little weird. So yeah, thanks everybody, and we will see you in a few weeks.
Dope.
Over now.
Alrighty.
All right.